Hi guys, it's Angie with Fun Endeavors Tie-Dye Lab. Today let's make a double side fan fold shirt. I'm starting out by centering the shirt, and this process is going to go really fast. But down below in the description for this video, I have a link to another video which shows how to center a shirt. The purpose for centering the shirt is so that I can get both sides of the front of the shirt next to each other and both sides of the back of the shirt next to each other. That way, whenever I apply the dye or do anything to the front or the back of the shirt, both sides are going to look more similar. If I were just to fold the shirt in half without centering it, one side of the front of the shirt is going to be right next to one side of the back of the shirt. And so if I applied the dye or did something, one side of the front is going to look more similar to one side of the back of the shirt. That's not what I want. I want the front of the shirt to look very close to being the same, and the same thing for the back. Now that the shirt is centered, I'm using a washable marker and either a piece of string or an old piece of sinew, something to tie onto the marker, to make myself an arc on the shirt. You can start this wherever you want to. I'm choosing to start it just probably about an inch or so below the armpit of the shirt. This is going to be my initial fan fold. So I'm going to fan fold this line, and then I'm going to tie it with some kite string. I'm going to incline ice dye this shirt. So I want the dye to be able to flow all the way down the shirt without any obstructions. And if I tied it with sinew, the sinew is wax coated, so it's going to slow down the dye a little bit. It won't totally stop it from moving down the shirt, but I want to be able to allow the dye to flow in large streaks down the shirt. So you can also use like rubber bands to tie this shirt or to hold the folds in place. For me, I've found it's just a little bit easier to tie it with some kite string. After I have the initial line tied, I'm going to go ahead and continue the fan folds on either side of this initial line and continue tying them with kite string as well. As I mentioned, I'm going to incline ice dye this shirt, so I've placed it inside of a piece of vinyl guttering, which for now is still laying flat on my work table. I'm going to take a piece of kite string and I'm going to tie it to the very end of the fold. Then I'm going to take the kite string and I'm going to use the little clip that you see laying on my table and attach the kite string to the very end of the piece of guttering. That's going to help keep the shirt from sliding down the guttering into the muck. All muck is the runoff or the mixing of the melting ice with the dye. It's been a couple of days since I tied this shirt, so it's completely dry. I'm going to lightly spray the shirt with a little bit of soda ash solution that I've placed inside of a spray bottle. That will help keep the dye on top of the shirt a little bit better. For this shirt, I'm going to place the colors on the shirt and leave a space in between each one of the colors. And I'm going to come back and add bracken from Dharma Trading Company in between the colors. So I'm starting with Loden from Pro Chemical and Dye, followed by Curry from Pro Chemical and Dye. Then I'm going to use Moss Green, Amber Waves, Who's the Moss, and Bronze from Dharma. Who's the Moss was a special muck order color that was available in spring of 2022. And then the Bracken was a zombie color that was re-released in October of 2022. I have a little bit left over from the first time it was released. I don't even know when that was. I kind of have been not using it a whole lot because it's a cool color and I was saving it, but I don't really know why I was saving it. But anyway, I was. So I'm using up some of my old Bracken now that they've re-released it for just a short period of time, and I have some more. Do you guys find yourself doing that? If it's like a special color and you can't get it again, do you find yourself loving the color but not wanting to use it because you don't want to use it all up? By the way, if you love some of the Dharma special order colors, there is a group out on Facebook called Tie-Dye Supplies Marketplace, and you can get some of the special order colors. Dharma sells them, but they sell them in large quantities. People purchase them and then break them down into smaller quantities. So if you like the Bracken and maybe you happen to miss the zombie colors when they came out because they sold out really fast, you can usually find some there. So in between each of the stripes of color, I'm going to add just a little bit of Bracken. Then I'm going to add an additional sprinkle of soda ash on top of all of the dye. Now I'm going to add the ice on the shirt, and I'm going to add the ice on the shirt while the shirt is still laying flat. I think it's just kind of a little easier to press the ice down into the shirt when it's flat rather than being inclined. To incline this shirt, I'm going to use a large-sided plastic tub or tote and place one end of the guttering down inside of the tote and leave the other end of the guttering hanging over the edge. I think it puts the shirt at probably close to like a 45-degree incline. Once I incline the shirt, I'm going to add a little bit more additional ice to the shirt just to make sure I don't have any blank spaces. I put the shirt aside and I allowed the first layer of ice to melt. And I had quite a bit of undissolved dye left sitting on top, so I added a second layer of ice and allowed it to melt as well. The shirt processed for about 24 hours after the second layer of ice melted. Then I took it to my utility sink and I began rinsing it in cold water to rinse out the soda ash. As I'm rinsing the guttering, you can see how easy it is to clean this up. That's why it's so great to use for incline ice dyes. I came back and actually washed it with a little bit of soap and water, but I just wanted to rinse out some of the larger chunks of dye that were left down inside. After rinsing in cold for a while, I untied the shirt and warmed the water up to hot and continued rinsing in hot water to rinse out the excess dye that didn't bond with the fabric. I ended up soaking the shirt in a little bit of Blue Dawn dish detergent and hot water, and when the water cooled off, I changed it out, continued that soaking process until the water was almost clear, then put the shirt along with some Dharma's Professional Textile Detergent into my washing machine, and I washed it using a hot water cycle. Then after the shirt was washed and dried, this is what it looks like. Okay, so what do you guys think? I think this one is beautiful. I really love the colors mixed together on this one and the way the dye just really flowed. I love this shirt. I think it's gorgeous. What do you guys think? You know, I'm not a huge fan of yellow, but I've really started embracing and loving some of the darker yellows, like the amber waves. Loden is not necessarily yellow, but it has a lot of yellow in it. And I don't know, I've expanded my horizons, let's just say. It still doesn't look great for me to wear yellow, but I'm starting to embrace and love the color a little bit more. Do you see what I mean about how the dye moves down the shirt with an incline? I'm a sucker for dye movement. That's why I love the gravity dyes. That's why I love the inclines. That's why I love the tall, deep scrunches. Anything where that dye can just kind of organically move and flow and all the color splits come out. I just love that. And I think that this technique really showcases some dye movement. I do have some white left right in the middle of the shirt, and I actually love it on this shirt. I love the way the dye flows into that area and the little design that's made kind of where the two fan folds meet. I've included several close-up pictures so you can kind of see the dye movement and some of the color splits, and even the cool design that was formed on the sleeves of the shirt. So like I said, overall, I absolutely love this shirt. But what do you guys think? Please drop me some comments down below and let me know. And if you guys have enjoyed watching me make this shirt and enjoy the content of this YouTube channel, I sure would appreciate it if you would like the video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a great day.